وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وهو الذي كف أيديهم عنكم وأيديكم عنهم ببطن مكة من بعد أن أظفركم عليهم وكان الله بما تعملون بصيرا. هم الذين كفروا وصدوكم عن المسجد الحرام والهدي معكوفا أن يبلغ محله ولولا رجال مؤمنون ونساء مؤمنات لم تعلموهم أن تطؤوهم فتصيبكم منهم معرة بغير علم ليدخل الله في رحمته من يشاء. لو تزيلوا لعذبنا الذين كفروا منهم عذابا أليما. إذ جعل الذين كفروا في قلوبهم الحمية حمية الجاهلية فأنزل الله سكينته على رسوله وعلى المؤمنين وألزمهم كلمة التقوى وكانوا أحق بها وأهلها وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. لقد صدق الله رسوله الرؤيا بالحق لتدخلن المسجد الحرام إن شاء الله آمنين محلقين رؤوسكم ومقصرين لا تخافون فعلم ما لم تعلموا فجعل من دون ذلك فتحا قريبا. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا. محمد رسول الله والذين معه أشداء على الكفار رحماء بينهم تراهم ركعا سجدا يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا سيماهم في وجوههم من أثر السجود ذلك مثلهم في التوراة ومثلهم في الإنجيل كزرع أخرج شطأه فآزره فاستغلظ فاستوى على سوقه يعجب الزراع ليغيظ بهم الكفار. وعد الله الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات منهم مغفرة وأجرا عظيما. آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل الساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله، السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله، السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين وابن سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة سيدة نساء العالمين، السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن الثاره والوتر الموتور، السلام عليك وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك، عليكم مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار. يا أبا عبد الله، لقد عظمت الرزية وجلت وعظمت المصيبة بك علينا وعلى جميع أهل الإسلام، وجلت وعظمت مصيبتك في السماوات على جميع أهل السماوات. فلعن الله أمة أسست أساس الظلم والجور عليكم أهل البيت، ولعن الله أمة دفعتكم عن مقامكم وأزالتكم عن مراتبكم التي رتبكم الله فيها، ولعن الله أمة قتلتكم، ولعن الله الممهدين لهم بالتمكين من قتالكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم ومن أشياعهم وأتباعهم وأوليائهم. يا أبا عبد الله، إني سلم لمن سالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم إلى يوم القيامة. ولعن الله آل زياد وآل مروان، ولعن الله بني أمية قاتبة، ولعن الله ابن مرجانة، ولعن الله عمر بن سعد، ولعن الله شمرا، ولعن الله أمة أسرجت وألجمت وتنقبت لقتالك. بأبي أنت وأمي لقد أعظم مصابي بك، فأسأل الله الذي أكرم مقامك وأكرمني أن يرزقني طلب ثارك مع إمام منصور من أهل بيت محمد صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم اجعلني عندك وجيها بالحسين عليه السلام في الدنيا والآخرة. يا أبا عبد الله، إني أتقرب إلى الله وإلى رسوله وإلى الأمير المؤمنين وإلى فاطمة وإلى الحسن وإليك بموالاتك وبالبراءة ممن أسس أساس ذلك وبنى عليه بنيانه وجرى في ظلمه وجوره عليكم وعلى أشياعكم. برئت إلى الله وإليكم منهم، وأتقرب إلى الله ثم إليكم بموالاتكم وموالاة وليكم وبالبراءة من أعدائكم والناصبين لكم الحرب وبالبراءة من أشياعهم وأتباعهم. إني سلم لمن صالمكم وحرب لمن حاربكم وولي لمن والاكم وعدو لمن عاداكم. فأسأل الله الذي أكرمني بمعرفتكم ومعرفة أوليائكم ورزقني البراءة من أعدائكم أن يجعلني معكم في الدنيا والآخرة، وأن يثبت لي عندكم قدم صدق في الدنيا والآخرة، وأسأله أن يبلغني المقام المحمود لكم عند الله، وأن يرزقني طلب ثاري مع إمام مهدي ظاهر ناطق بالحق منكم. فأسأل الله بحقكم وبالشأن الذي لكم عنده أن يؤتيني بمصابيبكم أفضل ما يعطي مصابا بمصيبته، مصيبة ما أعظمها وأعظم رزيتها في الإسلام وفي جميع السماوات والأرض. اللهم اجعلني في مقامي هذا ممن تناله منك صلوات ورحمة ومغفرة. اللهم اجعل محياي محيا محمد وآل محمد ومماتي ممات محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إن هذا يوم تبركت به بنو أمية وابن آكلة الأكباد اللعين ابن اللعين على لسانك ولسان نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله في كل موطن وموقف وقف فيه نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله. اللهم لعن أبا سفيان ومعاوية ويزيد بن معاوية عليهم منك اللعنة أبد الآبدين. وهذا يوم فرحت به آل زياد وآل مروان بقتلهم الحسين صلوات الله عليه. اللهم فضاعف عليهم اللعنة منك والعذاب الأليم. اللهم إني أتقرب إليك في هذا اليوم وفي موقفي هذا وأيام حياتي بالبراءة منهم واللعنة عليهم وبالموالاة لنبيك وآل نبيك عليه وعليهم السلام. اللهم لعن أول ظالم ظلم حق محمد وآل محمد وآخر تابع له على ذلك. اللهم لعن العصابة التي جاهدت الحسين وشايعت وبايعت وتابعت على قتله. اللهم لعنهم جميعا. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين اللهم خص أنت أول ظالم باللعن مني وابدأ به أولا ثم الثاني والثالث والرابع. اللهم لعن يزيد خامسا ولعن عبيد الله بن زياد وابن مرجانة وعمر بن سعد وشمرا وآل أبي سفيان وآل زياد وآل مروان إلى يوم القيامة. اللهم لك الحمد حمد الشاكرين لك على مصابهم. الحمد لله على عظيم رزيتي. اللهم ارزقني شفاعة الحسين يوم الورود وثبت لي قدم صدق عندك مع الحسين وأصحاب الحسين الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين عليه السلام. صلوات. اللهم صل على محمد.
نعرہ صلوات. جب کہ شبیر مدینے سے لگے کا صفا، جب کہ شبیر مدینے سے لگے کا صفا، اس گھڑی اس شاہ مظلوم ہونے بادی دائرہ پال کے واسطے قرآن جو کھولا لا کر کل نفس کے انہیں ہو پڑے پہ لے نظر، اور جب پڑھی ذائقۃ الموت کے حرفوں پہ نگاہ سر جھکا کر یہ ہی فرما یا کہ انا للہ سر جھکا کر یہی فرما یا کہ انا للہ جبکہ شبیر مدینے نعرہ صلوات بارہ دیگر سلام یہ پڑھیں گے سلام کی کیا پڑھنا چلا ہے کربلا کو چلا ہے کربلا کو رواں ہے تار علم کی چھا رہی ہے چلا ہے کربلا کو رواں ہے ارے علی اکبر جوانی کی قسم اڑ کر ذرا دیکھو علی اکبر جوانی کی قسم اڑ کر ذرا دیکھو اور چلی آتی ہے پیچھے پیچھے ماہ چلی آتی ہے پیچھے پیچھے ماہ اور پدر کی قوت برداشت کا تھا دھیان اکبر کو بڑی مشکل سے لی تھی کیا ہے چلا ہے کربلا کو اور کنارے نہر کے آئے تو سلامی کو بڑی موج قدم چومے بہت آہستہ آہستہ چلا ہے کربلا کو بدن تھا چور قاسم کا بہت زیادہ دم مردہ ارے بڑی مشکل سے لی انگڑا چلا ہے کربلا کو نعرہ صلوات سورہ فاتحہ اللہم صلی علی محمد نعرہ صلوات گھر سے جب بہر سفر سید عالم نکلے بہر سفر سید عالم نکلے ارے سر جھکائے ہوئے بادیدہ پرنم نکلے سر جھکائے ہوئے بادیدہ پرنم نکلے ارے خیش و فرزند کمر باندھ کے ہم نکلے کہ فرمایا کہ شہر سے اب ہم نکلے ارے رات سے گریائے زہرا کی صدا آتی ہے اور دیکھیں قسمت ہمیں کہ دشت میں لے جاتی ہے دیکھیں قسمت ہمیں کہ دشت میں لے جاتی ہے ارے رقیہ شہن سوئے قبر شہنشاہ ارے پیر تسلیم جھکے متصل باب سلام اذن پا کر جو گئے قبر کے نزدیک اور عرض کی آیا ہے آج آخر رخصت ارے عرض کی آیا ہے آج آخر رخصت یہ مقام سے آب شاہ زمان چھوٹا ہے ارے آج حضرت کے نواسے سے وطن چھوٹا ہے آج حضرت کے نواسے سے وطن چھوٹتا ارے چین سے سب گھروں میں مجھے ملتا نہیں چین سخت مشکل میں ہے آپ کا یہ نور ہے ٹکڑے دل ہوتا ہے جب رو کے آرام کرتے ہیں ارے ٹکڑے دل ہوتا ہے جب رو کے آرام کرتے ہیں ننھے بچوں کو بھلا لے کے کدھر جائے اور ننھے بچوں کو بھلا لے کے کدھر جائے اور شہر میں چین نہ جنگل میں اماں ملتی ہے اور دیکھیے قبر مسافر کو کہاں ملتی ہے دیکھیے قبر مسافر کو کہاں ملتی ہے اور یہ وہ دن ہے کہ پرندے بھی نہیں چھوڑتے اور مجھ کو درپیش ہے روزوں میں آفت کا سبب 7 بچوں کا ہے بادشاہ جن و بشر اور ہے کہیں قتل کا ساما کہیں لٹ جانے کا ڈر اور تنگ جینے سے ہو پاس اپنے بلا لو نانا اور اپنی تربت میں نواسے کو چھپا لو نانا اپنی تربت میں نواسے کو چھپا لو نانا اور یہ بیاں کر کے جو تعویذ سے لپٹے سرور یوں ہلی قبر کے تھرائی ذریعے انور آئی تربت سے یہ آواز حبیب داور تیری غربت کے میں صدقے میرے مظلوم پہ سر ارے کوئی سمجھانا مجھے گود کا پالا تجھ کو رہائے آدھا نے مدینے سے نکالا مجھ کو ہائے آدھا نے مدینے سے نکالا تجھ کو ارے میرے گیسو والے میرے صابر شبی ارے میرے بے کس میرے مظلوم مسافر شبی نہ رہا کوئی تیرا یاور ناصر شبی ارے ہائے گورے غریبہ کے مسافر شبی ارے تو جہاں جائے گا پیارے وہیں چلتا ہوں میں اور خاک اڑاتا ہوا تربت سے نکلتا ہوں میں خاک اڑاتا ہوا تربت سے نکلتا ہوں میں اور کئی دن سے تیری مادر کو نہیں قبر میں چین ارے آئی تھی شب کو میری قبر پہ یہ کرتی ہوئی بین میرا لٹتا ہے فریاد رسول ثقل ارے صبح کو اپنا وطن چھوڑ کے جاتا ہے حسین ارے کہنے آئی ہوں کہ منہ قبر سے موڑوں گی میں ارے اپنے بچے کو اکیلا تو نہ چھوڑوں گی میں اپنے بچے کو اکیلا تو نہ چھوڑوں گی میں اور ماں کی تربت پہ گئے شاب چشمے خونبار اتری محفل سے بس داؤ فغا زینب زاد دوڑ کر قبر سے لیپٹے جو امام ابرار ہاتھ زہرا کے لحاظ سے نکلا ایک ارے آئی آواز نہ رو دل کو قلق ہوتا ہے ارے قبر ہلتی ہے گلے یا میرا شک ہوتا ہے मेरा शक होता और ये बयां सुन के चले वहाँ से शाहे कौन मकान अरे बेकसी चेहरे पे छाई थी तो आंसू तेरा लोग सर पीट के दम हुए यूं गिरे गुना और पीछे ताबूत के जिस तरह चोरो पीछे ताबूत के जिस तरह से हो चोरो और खुलता है सैयदे जीजा खुदा को सौंपा और मदीने के शहंशाह खुदा को सौंपा मदीने के शहंशाह खुदा को सौंपा घर से जा बेरे सफर सैयदे
For the reciter of Holy Quran, Zarat Ashura, and the Sosan, please is at a loud salawat. MOMIN Center commemorates the Majlis of Imam Hussain, departure of Imam Hussain from Medina. And without any further delay, I would like to invite Maulana Jawad Wahidi on the member to start the Majlis. Please is at a loud salawat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بعدد ما أحاط به علمه وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتجبين سيما بقية الله في العالمين روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to bless us inshaAllah with the tawfiq and opportunity to benefit from the remaining nights and days, moments of the blessed month of Rajab. And for those of you who are present and coming in person on Monday night, and this is alhamdulillah a blessing with the work and perhaps you're already tired. So let's inshallah recite a salawat for those who are listening in person. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali. And inshallah the reward of this majlis goes to the all shuhada, late maraja, late servants of Abu Abdullah Sayyid al-Shuhada Imam Hussain A.S, and also the brothers and sisters who passed away from our community, your relatives, the relatives of volunteers who passed away, and especially our dear brother Wajahat Siddiqui. So for all of them, please recite a salawat and Surah Al-Fatiha. Allahumma salli ala wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. we're here according to the Quran to show our servitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ. Sorry. Beside the salawat, I forgot the verse. It seems that I don't remember, but the translation of this would be that we haven't created jinn and man, human, except to show servitude and be a good servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this ubudiyah and this servitude doesn't mean only worshipping or fasting, worshipping in a sense of prayer or fasting, but it actually has a very broad meaning, and it's a very universal meaning and concept. It actually refers to anything that we do as servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The way we walk, the way we eat, the way we behave, the way we conduct ourselves with people, with non-Muslim, with Muslims, with our relatives, with our parents, with our spouse, everything that we do is supposed to be in accordance of the divine law. If that is the case, that means we're showing our servitude, we're doing ibadah, we're doing worshipping of Allah Azza wa Jal. So one of these elements, if we want to show we're a good servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this month is the best month to start. I think I mentioned this before. Our akhlaq teacher, spiritual teacher, they used to say that if you want to start the process of self-purification, right, tahdhib, self-purification, start from the month of Rajab. The month of Rajab is so amazing and so beneficial and so profound, and so much Allah Azza wa Jal would shower His servants with His blessing, with His ultimate blessing. As a result, one of the best things that we can ask is hidayah and guidance, according to that tradition, that Allah Azza wa Jal told His messenger, His last messenger, that if in this month, if one of my servants asks me for guidance, I will guide. One of the thing that Allah Azza wa Jal told that Allah would listen and accept the dua is the dua for guidance. And that shows the importance and the significance of seeking guidance in this blessed month of Rajab. So one of this aspect of guidance is to work on ourselves. Work on ourselves and trying to build virtues. You see, usually what we do is, mainly human being people, what they do is they really don't work on themselves. They don't have a goal when it comes to building ethical virtues. So usually what happens is, if we're young, we get impacted or influenced by our friends. Perhaps those who are a little bit older, we think, and if we reflect, there are certain behaviors that we do that we got from certain friends. Like we can identify, if we think deeply in our behaviors, we can pinpoint that this behavior is coming from that friend, this behavior is coming from that friend. And anybody who had influence on us. So this means that I didn't take care of myself. If that behavior is a bad behavior, obviously, it's a negative behavior. That means I was not paying attention. Give you one example for this. Imagine there's a businessman. So you have a shop. You have a very nice shop. So this shop, obviously, you will sell and also you will buy. And when you are out of a product, what do? You buy. And sometimes you give loan and sometimes you take loans. So in order for you to be on top of this business, you gotta write what you're buying and you gotta write what you're selling. What is coming, what is leaving. We have tradition that to treat this dunya as bazaar, as your shop. Be like a businessman, a good businessman. Don't be like those businessmen that they buy a business or they open a business, they don't write everything. So after 6 months, he has no idea what he has bought, what he's selling. A thief can come and shoplift half of his shop that he doesn't know. There's no idea, no clue that what is coming, what is leaving. So be like a good businessman. And in this context, with this example, that means is that I know what type of habits I'm building, what type of things I'm losing as I'm living in this dunya. So be like that good businessman. And that there's a tradition, we had just his martyrdom from Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salatu wassalam, that he says that those who does not muhasaba, take himself in account, and not watching himself or herself, is not one of us. And then he continues, meaning he's not Shia if he doesn't take care of himself, he does not take himself in account. And then he continues to say that every night when you go to sleep, before you go to sleep, what do? You start thinking about your day. If you have made mistakes, God forbid, committed sins, seek forgiveness. Don't leave that for later. Just seek forgiveness immediately, right away. If you have done something good, praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and enjoy and be happy. But praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given you that opportunity to do those righteous deeds. This is actually like a good businessman, meaning taking ourselves in account. So, having said that, tonight, inshallah, in this short, brief, inshallah, hopefully, speech, I would like to talk about one of the most important traits that we can build. One of the most important and significant trait for a Shia, for a follower, for a mu'min. We're commemorating the departure of who? One of the best servant of Allah Azza wa Jal, Sayyid al-Shuhada, the chief of Shuhada. Someone who has built these traits. And one of these traits is what? Tawadu', humility. And we're going to talk about that. And opposite of tawadu' and humility is what? Takabbur, arrogance. So what is the Arabic word for humility? Tawadu', right? Tawadu'. It's a very beautiful trait with lots of benefit, and we can discuss perhaps 2-3 sessions, but we're going to inshallah enlighten this majlis with the few traditions. But before that, please recite aloud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. One day Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, thank you brother, I feel enlightened now. Recite another salawat please. One day Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned to his companion and said to them, please pay attention to this. He said to them that, what is it that I don't see the sweetness of worship in your face? What is it that you don't enjoy your worshiping and your worships? For me, this is actually one of the issue that I have, the challenge that I have. That what is it that I don't enjoy from the ibadah and worship? The same question Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asking his who? Companions. What is it that I don't see the sweetness of ibadah in you? They said, Ya Rasulullah, you know better. What is it? What is it that we don't enjoy? We don't see the sweetness. We don't feel the sweetness of worship and ibadah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam responded, what? Humility, at-tawadu. At-tawadu, humility is the sweetness of ibadah and worship. In another word, a good ibadah, a good prayer should lead me to be what? Mutawadi', to be humble. If I'm not humble, and we're going to define what is humility. If I'm not humble, that means the ibadah, there's something wrong with that worshiping, that prayer. I have to fix it. I have to be intentional when I go in the state of prostration. I have to be intentional when I go in the state of ruku'. If I am, I will be humble. Anybody and anyone who prays salat supposed to be humble. If there is something in me that leads to the thoughts that I'm better than others, that means the ibadah is problematic. I have to fix the ibadah. You know, we had a marja, a scholar. Once he said that I seek forgiveness from my prayers. I seek forgiveness for what? For my prayers. Because of riyah, showing off, because of perhaps I don't pay attention, because of I'm taking it lightly, because of salat is not having impact on me. So there's something wrong in my salat. I have to fix it. So at-tawadu. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is saying in another word, in another way, Rasulullah is saying that, do you want to enjoy your salat? Do you want to feel the sweetness of salat and worship? They said, yes, sir, we want to have that. Rasulullah said, the key is humility. Be humble. Before you pray your salat, be humble. After you pray salat, be humble. Now, the question is this. What is humility? What is humility? As we go through these traditions, the Ahlul Bayt, different Imams would mention different things. But I would say this, that perhaps the core of humility is that I don't think I'm better than others when it comes to and in relation to Allah's creation. Before Allah, obviously, inshallah, hopefully we are humble before Allah. Hopefully. Right? But the problem is that when it comes to people, sometimes we're lacking. So the core is this, that I don't think I'm better than others. I don't think I'm better than others. As soon as I think that I don't know, this is I'm like giving discount. Half of my iman is gone. There's something wrong with my iman. As soon as I think that I'm higher and I'm superior over someone else, this behavior of jahiliyyah and ignorance, right? So the core of it is that I don't think I'm better than others. Any creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this makes sense. We're going to talk about that. This makes sense. Anybody who is intellectual, who is logical, should be humble. So any sign of arrogance, that means there's no logic there. The individual is illogical there. Like he's missing it. He's missing things here. That's why he's failed to be humble and show humility. So Amirul Mu'mineen, on the limits of tawadu, in another, what is tawadu? They asked him, and he said, ثَلَاثُهُنَّ رَأْسُ التَّوَاضُ. There are three things, elements, essential in humility. Number one, أَيَّبْدَأُ بِالصَّلَاةِ. Salam, sorry. That he is the first who say, what? Salam. Doesn't matter, younger or older. You know, it's been said that sometimes, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was always the first to say salam even to the kids. There is tradition that they would hide behind like wall to jump and catch Prophet, basically. Catch the Prophet. To be the first who say, what? Salam. They did that. And then as Rasulullah is approaching, he said that so and so who is hiding behind the walls, Assalamu alaikum. So the first salam, you see that salam, and I think when you approach especially younger ones and people so-called lower than you when it comes to social status, sometimes it's hard to do that. You expect others to say salam to you, and that's a problem. It can be in my heart. Sometimes it is, but we should fight with it. How? Do against what that desire at that moment wants from me. My heart is saying, don't say salam, but you say salam. So salam is a mean to show humility. That's number one element, essential. And then the second would be the individual is okay and pleased to sit the nearest place in a majlis, in a gathering. So you enter to a room, if like I'm Ayatollah, I expect to be in the forefront of a majlis. Or if I'm a doctor, I expect to be in the forefront of a majlis. If I'm an engineer or I'm rich, I expect to be in the forefront. That's problem. That means there is no humility. That means there is no sweetness in my worship, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. Amirul Mu'mineen. And the last would be وَيُكْرِهُ الرِّيَاء. And he hates showing off. He doesn't like to show off and riyah. In another tradition, the same token, it's from Imam al-Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. Recite the salawat, please. This has almost the same content except few things Imam al-Rida is adding to it. He said, في جواب السؤال عن حد التواضع درجات منها أن يعرف المرأة مرء قدر نفسه فينزلها منزلتها بقلب سليم. Imam al-Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, this is a very profound tradition, by the way. In response to a question about the limits of humility, he said, humility has levels. What are those levels? Number one of these levels is for a person to recognize their own worth. For a person to recognize their own worth and place themselves in their proper position with a pure and sound heart. So sometimes those people, they want to practice humility, they overdo it. They put themselves lower than a position that they're supposed to be in. In the contrary, many other people, they're not supposed to be in that position, but they seek that position. They have to work on themselves to be in that position, but they seek that position. So the Imam is saying the first quality or the first element of tawadu is that, first of all, know who you are. What is your worth? With a sound and pure heart between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who are you? What is your worth? And then stay in that. And be happy with that. And don't try to, mimic. If you want to be higher, practice to be higher. Practice to be higher. And this message, by the way, in today, especially when you're writing a resume, usually they advise you differently. Just write whatever. No. Be honest in your resume. That actually shows competency. That shows that I'm competent. I know these are my values, these are my goals, these are my abilities, my capabilities. These are what I know. And I also know what are my weaknesses. So that's the first. The second, they should wish for others what they wish to be given to themselves. How I like to be treated, I have to treat people like that. It's easy to say it in word, but it's very hard. First, start from our home, our house. I want my wife to treat me with respect. And I define respect. Like there are words even that I deem to be disrespectful. There are also face expression that I don't like and I don't appreciate. I have to ask myself, am I doing the same thing? Am I doing the same thing? That's tawadu. I have to like certain things. It's okay, I can. But am I living by those things myself as well? If I'm not, I should just give up on expectation. Let me fix myself first and then expect others. Repay evil with good. Someone has done wrong to me, I do good to them in return. And these are verses of the Quran, by the way. Someone is doing bad things, right? Said bad things, did something to me, harmed me, I do good to them. Restrain their anger. Humble people, they control their anger. We're going to talk about this in another session about anger. Anger is, subhanAllah, one of the worst emotion. It's very powerful. Many sins, shortcomings, mistakes come from this anger. And ghadab, khashm, ghadab. And forgive people easily. Humble people forgive people. They don't keep grudges. Just forgive, okay? It's fine. You see, the bottom line here is that if I know that I'm in need of forgiveness, if I'm aware of my shortcomings, my mistakes, my bad habits, it will be easy for me to forgive. Trust me, if I want to forgive people, I have to reflect how much flaws I have. And the more I think about those, the easier becomes forgiving others. Very Allah is with the doers of good, verses of the Quran. That at the end of the day, you may ask this question that, brother, you're asking me to forgive so-and-so brother and repay evil with good, but look at what they doing to me. Huh? That's a good question. So the Imam Rada ﷺ is reminding of a verse. He says, don't worry about it. You do good, and Allah is with the doers of good. Recite aloud salawat, please. So as we reflect on the idea and the virtue of humility, now it makes sense to say that it's actually the most logical thing to be humble. Because sometimes going out in our professional field, we think to be arrogant means that I know more than everybody, And trust me, those who are professional in that field quickly can pinpoint that behavior. Oh, look at this guy. He's beginner. He's just, coming, acting, I'm good. No. As soon as something wrong, I did something bad, mistake, take it, accept. Showing any form of arrogance is actually lack of intellect. And this is a hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen. At-tawadu' ra'sul aql. That humility is the head of intellect. If you cut the head, what? Life is gone. If you cut humility, there is no intellect. The guy is just dumb, he's stupid, sorry. He doesn't know. He doesn't have any intellect. He's not humble. وَالتَّكَبُّرْ رَأْسُ الْجَهْلِ. Any form of arrogance is the head of ignorance. Listen to this story. There's a king by the name of Sultan Mahmud. Sultan Mahmud had a, call it wazir, advisor, high-ranking official in his government. So Ayaz, by the name of Ayaz. Ayaz was dear to Sultan Mahmud so much. Sultan Mahmud would listen to him. Whatever Ayaz would say, Sultan Mahmud would listen to him, give him tips, right? An'am, give him more money, more gifts, more presents. So he would take care of his wazir or advisor. So few people in the palace, they started having jealousy toward Ayaz. So they started watching what Ayaz is doing. They noticed that Ayaz has a room in the palace that nobody has entered to this room, and he's very careful that nobody should enter to this room. They were curious about this. So they went to Sultan Mahmud and told him that, look at this Ayaz that you love so much. He said, yeah, of course, I love him so much. What's wrong with him? He said, there is a room he has that he hasn't let anybody enter to this room. So there's something wrong with Ayaz. Sultan Mahmud said, that makes sense, you know. If you don't have anything to hide, what you're hiding there, right? You should be able to enter to that room like any other room in the palace. You have let people into your house, but why not in this room? So he said that at night, bring some lights, we're going to go check this room. They went to this room, they started checking. They couldn't find anything except for a modest dress and clothing, shirt. Very modest. They were shocked. They brought this to Sultan Mahmud. Sultan Mahmud said, there's no way we can find out what is this. We have to call Ayaz. They called Ayaz. He said, what is it that you're hiding in this room? What is this? He said, this is a dress that I used to wear till you appointed me as Wazir. I keep this dress and clothing here. Every day I come to this room so this dress can remind me who I was prior you appointed me as your advisor. You know, sometimes we achieve things and we forget who we were. And this is, Ayaz is smart. He remembers what Sultan Mahmud did. But we should remember what Allah Azza wa Jal has done to us. Right? We should remember what Allah Azza wa Jal has done to us. Thinking that this is what I did with my life, any success that we achieve. Thinking that I did, subhanallah, this is arrogant. Who am I that I did this? It is solely is because of Allah Azza wa Jal that He has done this. And lastly, brothers and sisters, humility has a lot of benefit. And as I said, we should even practice with our younger ones. You know, Rasulullah would do that. One day, Rasulullah had delayed in his salat a little bit. They started being curious. They sent Bilal. So Bilal started looking, searching for Rasulullah, and he found Rasulullah playing a bunch of kids. And Rasulullah would become a kid when he would play with the kids. That's humility. Because those kids are servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well. Same, actually less sins that I have made. So Rasulullah playing with them, Bilal told Rasulullah, the salat is delayed. Let's go. So Rasulullah was about to leave the game. The kids are not letting him. No, you gotta play. You start something, right? Especially it's a soccer, a basketball, football. All of a sudden you lose one team member. All ruined, right? They didn't let. So Rasulullah told Bilal, asking him, do you have anything? He said, yeah, I have a bunch of like walnuts and like perhaps nuts. So give me. So he bribed basically the kids so the kids can let Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to go and pray salat. So sometimes we need to practice that, practicing with our spouse, with our children, being humble. And subhanAllah, this won't put us down at all. We think that if we show humility before so and so, the other side would take advantage. And that's actually opposite to the idea and to the belief of Tawheed. Because I'm being humble for Allah. If I'm being humble for Allah, I shouldn't concern myself with behaviors that comes from others as a result of my humility. So the benefit of humility is an advice given to Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Please pay attention to this. Subhanallah, and this is amazing. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with humility and tawadu in this blessed month of Rajab. والله لو أن المتواضع في قعر بئر لبعث الله عز وجل إليه ريحا يرفعه فوق الأخيار في دولة الأشرار. By Allah, if a humble person were in the depth of a well, think about it, like we're stuck in the depth of a well, the Almighty, and we're humble, the Almighty and Majestic would send a breeze to raise them above the righteous ones. Allah would elevate that. And this well is symbolic, right? Sometimes life puts us down. That's about life. If I'm humble, Allah will raise me what? Above the righteous ones during the era of the wicked. Not during the era of righteous ones, because that's easy. Because everything has its own place, right? Righteous ones, they don't oppress others, they don't put people down. No, during the era of the wicked ones, if someone practices humility, Allah will raise them above the righteous ones during the era of the wicked. And this is the benefit of humility, that humility brings love, humility brings respect. And sometimes, again, we may face challenges that we are humble, but people perhaps would take advantage. Of course, there are going to be people who take advantage, but I'm doing me, right? I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that is showing humility before Allah Azza wa Jal. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with humility and tawadu. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with the virtues, in this ethical virtues in this blessed month of Rajab. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us with guidance in this blessed month of Rajab. Bless us with forgiveness. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to hasten the appearance of Imam Al-Hujjah Ajjalallah ta'ala Farajul Sharif. Recite the loud salawat, please.
Ya Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Fi khatm shah ne likha